Okay, let's review the vocabulary that you should know. You really have to know all of these for the test. So let's dive right in. A proper noun is a name. Okay, it can be of a person, it can be a place, it can be a business name. So Larry, Jim, Joe, George, America First, Mountain America, these are names. Mexico is a name. Okay, that's a proper noun. Okay, next one. A concrete noun is something that you can sense. Okay, can be identified through one of the 5 sentences: taste, touch, sight, hearing, or smell. Okay, and where are we at here? Next one. An abstract noun is something you can't really sense, but I'm going to look it up. Okay, an abstract noun refers to a noun that's like an idea. You can't really touch an idea, like science. It's a noun, but can you touch science itself? Not really. What about honesty? It's an idea, it's a quality, right? If someone is honest, I mean, that you are honest, that's an adjective, but honesty itself, that's an abstract noun. Okay? The state of something, I'm not exactly sure what that refers to. That essentially, it's if it's abstract, it's not concrete. Those are the two opposites of each other. Okay, the next one we're going to look at is collective noun. It refers to a group, like an assembly, a fan, a crew, a flock, a pod of dolphins. There are a bunch of examples, right? Herd, swarm, bunch, collection, fleet, flotilla, pack, set. Okay, these are collective because they are collected together. Okay, next one you have is an active verb. Now this is the same thing as active voice, but it's how you use the verb in the sentence. And let me explain that. Okay, let's look at this real quick. So in active voice, with the active verbs, Harry ate. Okay, the verb is active because we know who is doing the eating versus they were eaten by. Okay, a passive verb, eaten by Harry, versus Harry ate 6 shrimp at dinner. Okay, we know that these sound better. Active voice is a lot better. Beautiful giraffes roam the savannah. The giraffes roam. The savannah is roamed by beautiful giraffes. It's kind of weak. It's passive voice. Okay, so the passive verb here would be roamed. The active verb would be roam. Okay, that's enough examples, I think. Let's go to the next word. Okay, so here's your linking verb. Now, sometimes you have to use a linking verb. Okay, you can't always say dogs walk or cats meow or students study to express what you want to say. If you want to say the cat is walking, it's different. There's a link there. She is a nurse. The moon is in outer space. I became weary. Okay, an action verb, became. This describes, but I have become weary. Okay, Dalai Lama seems like a nice guy. Dalai Lama is a nice guy. Is would be linking as well if you put it there. Now, take a look at these. You could put is in between looked. The ocean is peaceful. Or was, excuse me. The ocean was peaceful that fine Tuesday. Okay, but looked sounds so much better because the be verbs are overused. Okay, so if you can replace a be verb with another verb, typically it's a linking verb, then do it in your writing. It's stronger, it's better, it gives more variety, and it celebrates the English language. I felt so excited that day. I was so excited that day. Okay, you could do it, but it's just not that great. That man appears somewhat melancholy. Yeah. That man is somewhat melancholy. Was somewhat melancholy. Okay. The soup tastes spicier than usual. The soup tastes. Does the soup actually have a tongue, and is it tasting? No, this is a linking verb. I am tasting, right? I taste the soup. The soup tastes spicier. It's linking. The soup is spicier than usual. Okay? So a way to figure out, is there a linking verb? If you can replace it with is, was, were, some variety of the be verbs, then it's probably a linking verb. Okay? I felt on the floor for my lost keys. I was on the floor for my lost keys. That would explain us why, but it's kind of weird, kind of awkward to put was there. Okay. The man appeared suddenly right in front of me. The man was suddenly in front of me. How did he get there? He appeared. Okay, it adds meaning. Would you taste that soup for me? Would you, I don't know, be that soup for me? No, that's more of an action. Remain here while I go. Ask Rachel about time management. Yeah, these are really more action verbs. Grammarly's not always right, so just be careful with using them. Okay, the easiest way for me to explain this is by comparing transitive with intransitive at the same time. So transitive shows an action on something, okay, some object, something, okay, whereas intransitive doesn't show an action on something. It shows an action, but there's no something, or we call it an object. There's no object involved. Okay, so for example, Michelle used to run a restaurant. Okay, so the verb acts on the object that is the restaurant. So we know something is happening to that restaurant, or did happen to that restaurant. Okay, whereas the path ran over the hill the path is not really physically running, but it goes over the hill. Is it really doing something to the hill? Not really. There's not really an action, whereas Michelle is like changing and making decisions and doing and all sorts of verb-like stuff to that restaurant. Okay, our cat lived until he was 10. Now this one's kind of hard to tell, but he is the object. Okay, the cat lived till he was 10. Okay, living is an action to himself. It acts upon itself, which is just kind of hard. It's not a good example. He was living a life of luxury abroad. Okay, is there an object after living? Not really. This is I think it's like a noun clause. Life of luxury abroad. It's an idea altogether, but it's not really an object. You can't. There's no action on the life. It's more like it just happens. There's no action on that life of luxury abroad. Okay. Have you washed? This is probably the best example. Your hands. The washing of the hands. Okay. Verb, and then object. The verb is washed. The object is hands. I washed, dressed, and went out. Well, what did you wash? I washed my hands, dressed myself, and went out the door. Okay, I changed that to transitive verbs. But right now, because you don't know what you washed, you don't know what you dressed, and what you went out of, there are no objects, so these are intransitive verbs. When you have objects next to them, they become transitive verbs. Okay, write what? Write your name. Okay, that's the object. Your name. Where? Here. Well, name is the object. This just specifies where. Kevin couldn't read or write. If I were to put Kevin couldn't read or write his name, then his name would be the object. That would make read and write transitive. Okay? I think that is it for transitive and intransitive. Yep, and that is it for this video for now. What I would like you to do as an assignment is a couple of things, and I'll write this in the assignment description, but I want you to find sentences in your reading. This is the first thing you could do. Find sentences in your reading, and I want you to underline at least one of each of these and label it. Now don't go in your book because you can't do that, but you can retype the paragraph. You're going to give credit, you're going to cite it, you're going to say, I got this from this book on this page, okay? And then you're going to underline and label, okay? You're going to label each one of these. So you'll find a proper noun, you're going to say this is a proper noun. You're going to find a collective noun and say this is a collective noun. Concrete noun, abstract noun, active verb, linking verb, so on and so forth. You're going to do them all, okay? Now, I will give extra credit if you can do a passive verb, okay? Because that's not on our list, but I want to see if you know what a passive verb is as well. Okay, that is all, folks.